The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debate you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions. Ring Gang Radio.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Patscorpio, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, what up, y'all? Gawd artist, Shutterworth, Ring Gang.
That's what it is, man. You know, at this time I didn't have to say Gawd artist, you know, said himself, because that's important. For that's the first thing he always says, and that's the truth. You know, that's the truth.com type shit right there. So,
yes, sir.
So yeah, man, LB. So this week, man, PBC Premier Boxing Champions has released their rollout of their fights, and this is coming off their deal from a couple of months ago that they finally managed to nail down. So now PBC, for the time being, has an official home for their fight. And then to summarize their deal, it's a 4-year deal to show 10 marquee fight nights in primetime each year on regular Fox, while Fox Sports 1, FS1, or Fox Deportes, you know, for our Spanish-speaking contingent, will telecast 12 fight nights annually. And then the package will also include Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view events, which kind of defeats the purpose of PBC originally, but we will not get into that. Not tonight, you know, because I can go really deep into that, but that will be for another broadcast, for another podcast. But yeah, man, the rollouts. So I guess we can start off. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through each and every single one of these cards, and then LB and I will, you know, just drop our grade, you know, from A to F.
Yeah, this that Ring Gang report card.
Ring Gang report card.
Right. Real talk. You know what I mean? We're gonna start holding these promoters and these shows and all that shit accountable for what y'all put out into the boxing universe. You know what I mean? So let's go. Hold on, are we gonna do the actual list? Are we gonna start from the fucking Wilder Fury card?
Nah, the Wilder fight, we can talk about that when it gets closer to that, but I won't put that because that was announced way before the slate. So, and that's so. I mean, yeah, that one has got enough circulation, you know, around the around the boxing world. So, I mean, that we'll talk about probably next podcast. We won't actually have to talk about who we think is going to win and all that other good shit.
All right, y'all hear that, folks?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that'll be next podcast topic. So yeah, I mean, we will start off from the top, from the one that is on December 22nd at Barclays Center. This will be on Fox. It's a triple header. The Charlos, Jamal Charlo, will be defending his interim middleweight belt against William Monroe Jr. And then we have Jamel Charlo defending his WBC 154 belt against Tony Harrison. And then in the opener, we have Dominic Brazil, who I met is a cool guy. You know, I mean, he had to be cool because he took pictures and signed autographs for me after he ate dinner with his peoples. You know what I'm saying? So and he was charitable about it. Like, he was real cool about it. He wasn't like showing no malice or nothing. So that young man said, huh?
I'm saying salute, like shout outs, like that's what's up.
Salute, man. And he is facing Carlos Negron. So yeah, LB, man. So what you think, man, of this? What their initial card?
Initial card, I'm gonna be real, man. It's like a C.
Right, I feel you on that. Yeah,
Like,
and
glad it's a card, but it's like kind of been there, done that. It's like it's nothing, it's more like a, hey, we got the Charlos, we're bringing the Charlos back type of card. Like they reintroducing them niggas to us, but we just already know who they are, and we just want to see them in with, better level opponents right now. But we know that they not afraid of nobody and they'll fight anybody. So that's all we saying.
right, yeah, and I definitely feel that. And then my thoughts is C's like perfect to me because if you're going to set some shit off, man, Willie Monroe Jr. should never be an opponent for anything of this nature. And that's I'm sorry. Now Willie Monroe, at one time I sympathized with him, but when he got his second shot after getting KO'd by Triple G, what happened is he didn't, he simply just he wasn't entertaining. I mean, he blew fights that he could have won if he was more aggressive, and he let people off the hook, and it was a disappointment. So him facing Jamal Charlo in a main event, doesn't really stoke the fires of anticipation to actually watch it. Tony Harris
have possible, stinker potential.
Very much so. If Willie Monroe is really on the spoil shit that night.
Yeah, so it's like honestly, like you could have remixed that card and had Tony Harrison go against Willie Monroe Jr. I think that would be a way better, more competitive fight that could elevate either guy. And you don't really know who could win that. Right, exactly.
And then Tony, like I said before, he's getting a title shot against Jamal Charlo. I have nothing against Tony Harrison. I mean, Tony Harrison is also another cool guy that I met. Super cool, actually. And but I don't think he should be getting a title shot now. And Jamal Charlo is just coming off. I know before he had the two mandatories, he had Hatley, and then he had Lubin. Lubin, excuse me, I said Lubin. And then after that, he faced faced Trout, who's like the 154 jobber to the stars. And now it's Harrison. I just feel it's just he's taking a seat. It's taking backwards to what he was doing before. And this fight, Harrison is a good fighter, but his chin and his stamina is just not really up to par.
Yeah, and it's like we already kind of seen what he could do when he fights someone that's elite. And that's nothing against Harrison. It's like I felt like you could build him up as a better opponent for the bigger name guys if you match him up differently.
Right.
I like the Willie Monroe Jr. was an opponent. Even Harrison and J-Rock is a good fight.
Right, exactly. Just to see where they are right now, but it just seems like.
And then after if Tony Harrison beats one of those guys, then give him maybe an Austin Trout or get him into another Charlo or
right. Yeah, so it's just like the Charlos. Yeah, both Charlos are they're good fighters, but it's just like they need better opponents. That's the big problem. They just need better opponents.
Yeah.
And we have, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Dominic Brazil, who I believe it is a mandatory. I believe he's the wildest mandatory versus Carlos Figueroa, which is just. I'm guessing this is most likely just a stay busy fight for Brazil. I don't really have any thoughts on that fight other than, the only thing I can think of is either Brazil is it possible that he may go life and death with this guy, like he always does, because Brazil has a knack, barring the Femi fight, of stealing victory from the jaws of defeat. and he's done this. You know, he's done this a lot. So I would not be surprised if this will happen tonight. Happen that night, because the guy is 6'6". He's his height. He's 20-1 with 16 KOs. Yeah. The funny thing is too, his own that cat's only loss is to Epiphytic. I never remember how to pronounce his first fucking name. Epifanio Mendoza, who's not even a natural. He's going back to the
name sounds so familiar. Like,
yeah, he fought Chad Dawson and Jeff Lacey. In fact, he damn near. He probably should have beat Jeff Lacey, but
Lacey, yeah. Damn. Throwback.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, and when you lose, so basically, if you're losing by KO to that dude, you know the chin may not be up to bar, but 20-1 with 16 KOs, and he's 6'6" as well. I mean, it could be a firefight. You never know.
We just gonna name this one X because it's the unknown. We don't know.
Yeah, we really don't know. So, and that's probably the only really intriguing fight on the card. So yeah, C is definitely. I agree with LB sentiment. It's, you know, I guess at best it, you know, creates some stars, but at least one of the fights, if you know there is, you know, it could create some fuckery if an upset happens. And I'm just looking at just maybe the Jamel Charlo Tony Harrison fight, because Tony Harrison winning that fight will be fuckery. So yeah, and so we're going to the next card after that. This will be the first card for the PBC on 2019, January 13th on FS1. It'll be Jose Uzcategui, the IBF Super Middleweight Champion, versus Caleb Plant. LB?
Ooh. I want to get at like a maybe a B+.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, this is like I said. You got Uzcategui, who's put in work in the division. I mean, his only losses. Was the unfortunate Andre Durrell loss, and then
redemption.
Yeah, of course he got redemption like 7 months later, and then the Korobov loss, which oddly enough was so decisive for a man of his was such a decisive loss, especially for a man of his power, that it's a head scratcher. But Uzcategui, man,
but Korobov could fight though. He's. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not saying he's the best. He a good friend. You know, at one point he was like a top 10 middleweight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it was just so weird that Korobov, of all people, was able to really tame him in that fight.
Because the thing is, Uzi kind of just looked more dynamic, like more, I guess, talented. But Korobov is solid and he could punch. You know, he got good fundamentals. So. Yeah, I mean, it's boxing. Shit happens, but
yeah,
other than that, it's a good fight. And Caleb Plant, we get to finally see him in the ring with somebody who's as good as he is, or maybe even better
on that level. Yeah, I mean, because you know, Caleb Plant has been putting in some work as a prospect in there. I mean, his last fight that I saw, he faced Porky Medina. It was not a fight I was really impressed from him. For various reasons, because I mean, Porky didn't seem to be 100%.
He kind of done right now.
Yeah, he very much is. But I expected a stoppage, and Plant didn't really come close to stopping him. And so that kind of like, okay, this is good.
Agree with you on that, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be a good barometer to see where he is right now if he can handle someone with Uzcategui's punching power. But yeah,
I think it's just the whole I want to win attitude that Uzi has, because the thing is, like, it was looking like Plant was starting to spoil on the vine, man, because I feel like he been needed to take a step up for a good while now, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's been I mean, yeah, because I remember before, I mean, dude was knocking people out, and then all of a sudden it was just decisions.
You see the talent, but it's like, okay, like now it's trying to see like what's really good. What's your ceiling at? Was your
Right.
number 10? So
Yeah,
this
and that
B+ type of fight right here. Like this is a main event, right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the main event. It's I mean yeah, I mean it's I mean obviously it's gonna be more of a card, but that is the main fight for that card. Yeah, and I also give that a B+ too, because that it's definitely one of the fights that I'm feeling the most on this fight, and it's on FS1. So hopefully, you know, we'll get some good exposure from that. I'm mad too though,
That's
because
the type of fight that needed to be on regular fucking Fox though.
yeah, I agree. And also, it shouldn't be on fucking Sunday, January 13th, because that's NFL playoff weekend. So so obviously it's not a problem for you.
That's like two L's right there, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, and I just realized what the fucking date was. I'm just like, oh fuck, you know. It's
Damn,
just like,
B+ fight then turned into like a C- with the execution.
yeah, because I mean, depending on what the football players look like, them shits are gonna be lit. So most people are gonna be watching the football games by that time.
Yeah, you got to be a special type of boxing fan where you fuck with boxing harder than, you know, football to you know, turn down football. I know they out there, but I'm just saying that's not the best move to make right there.
Yeah, and that me because I fuck with both sports hard. You know, it's one of the dilemmas that I hate the most. You know,
like choosing which kid you like better or some shit like.
Yeah, because like I said, because you know them playoffs, you know, last year's playoffs was super lit, and there was no fights in between there. So it's just like, you know, I can't be, if I miss a super lit fight like this, or I miss a super lit football game, you know, I'm forlorn and I'm crestfallen, all that shit, man. Shit's hard, man. and I don't keep no DVR, man, because I don't believe in DVR. So that's even another thing.
Yeah.
So man,
the technology.
It's the weirdest thing too. I don't fuck with DVR, but but you know, Fios be crazy, you know, be wilding with some of them DVR prices. So I'd be like, man, you can keep all that. It's not that important to me.
Yeah,
I have, you know, that's why I have whatchamacallit, on demand. If I need to see it, fuck it, it'll be on there.
True.
So yeah, that is a great fight, and so yeah, the next. Okay.
No, I was saying next.
Yeah. So yeah, the next card will be a week after. 2 weeks after. No football, not that weekend either. It's a Saturday. Or there's no football on Saturday, anyways. So it will be the return of Keith One-Time Thurman defending what's now his WBA welterweight title against Josecito Lopez, and then in the co-main, Adam Konaki versus Gerald Washington. LB, thoughts?
As an overall card, I want to say it could be, it's a C+. And I'll explain why, because you gotta score it the way it could be at its lowest and in its highest potential. As far as the highest potential, if Thurman really looked rusty and Josecito Lopez, you know, fights above him, you know, fights above his level. Mm-hmm. Like if the stars align for everybody, and you know, that could be a pretty decent fight. Like that could be a damn good fight. Who knows? We haven't seen Thurman in a minute. Lopez is always game, and he has a way of competing and sometimes, you know, dominating and or beating guys that are supposed to be better than him, you know, more talented than him.
Right.
I mean, he's done it now. Sometimes he don't always get over the hill, but he make that hill real rocky for the other guy.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I mean, that's why he's called
Madonna.
Yeah, Victor Ortiz, Jesse Vargas.
Yes. There's somebody else. Berto. Berto was another one.
Yeah, Berto. Yeah, definitely.
He's boxing the shit out of Berto, and Berto cool in my book, but he like the talent level. You could just see like Berto supposed to be a guy that could get him. Shouldn't even struggle with him, and he was getting jabbed and boxed up.
Yeah, he was getting lit up pretty good, but Josecito, the reason why he's weird, like I said, because Josecito had a brutal stretch of fights. First, like I said, with him, first it was the Jesse Vargas fight, which I think was one of the Floyd cards, and that was a war
that was a real good fucking fight.
Yeah, it was. And then he goes into the ring with Victor Ortiz, and that itself was another war, which he won because he broke Ortiz's jaw in like 2 different places and his ribs.
And surprise, Ortiz quit.
Usually this fight I would say, but this fight I think.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, Josecito really beat the hell out of him. He broke bones.
Remember, and a Canelo payday was hanging above the ring, man. Like, that was also on the line, and Ortiz was supposed to get that shit.
Was supposed to get that bag, and he unfortunately he failed, and then which Josecito got the Canelo bag. And then that was another brutal fight, except this fight was more of a beatdown.
Yeah, it was like just one-sided. It's levels and sizes to this shit.
Right, and exactly. And Josecito definitely we saw that his level was definitely welterweight. He should never go to fucking super welterweight. And then after that, he gets into another war with Marcos Maidana, who he gave all types of trouble to. The fights were stupid close on the card until Maidana was able to stop him. And then for that type of stretch of fights in a row will have quite an effect on your punch resistance. And I think that's what it did. Like, there was some fights, and I think that's the reason why Berto was able to stop him. But he's been able to rebound. And his last time out, he was on Fox 2. He faced Miguel Cruz, and he looked damn good. He almost shut the dude out on my card. He was like 17-0. So I have no problem with this fight with him facing Keith, because like I said, because he has looked good, and he's he hasn't lost in about 4 years. Oh, it will be like 4 years by the time he gets back in the ring. So I have no problem with Keith facing this type of person. It's not, because he is somebody, as you said, if the stars align, then, Keith can find himself into some trouble. So yeah,
not Vargas. My bad, apologies. Lopez, he has a way of making you're in a fight. Like, he has good ring presence.
Definitely.
Boxing, brawls. He's game. He throws body shots. It's like you almost kind of wish you had more of these type of guys who always gave it they all in these fucking fights, man. Real talk. And so like you said, that's a good matchup. Like, it's solid. And what was the undercard fight?
The co-main fight is Adam Konecki versus Gerald Washington. This fight, I don't mind it, but I just don't care about it. Because I don't think too much about Konecki, and I don't think too much about Gerald Washington. But it's the type of, but they're both.
Konecki, he an action guy. He got some decent hand speed for a heavyweight. Those combinations, power. Yeah,
but this motherfucker eats candy though. He's not disciplined. I can't stand fighters that don't work on their conditioning. And Gerald Washington.
But if he was a guy that really gassed and he really fought like a lazy slob.
Well, he did. That Charles Martin fight was terrible to watch. I couldn't. Yeah,
I think that was more so Martin kind of, stopped being passive. Because once Martin, knew it was a fight, he was fucking giving it to Kawaki. So I don't know, man. Like, but Washington, I think is a decent step in another. It's like a good step in another direction, because Washington has another, has a boxer style like Martin, but he's more of a mover. he's not gonna take the chances like Martin, but you know he could jab and
yeah. I mean, Gerald Washington to me is just a big stiff. I mean, he doesn't do much of it. I mean, pretty much I've never been impressed by him, barring the one time where he was actually boxing Wilder up before Wilder landed a bomb. Landed that bomb that ended the fight. But he was boxing him up pretty good for almost half the fight. And it was basic too. It was just some basic shit. And that's pretty much the only time I was ever really impressed by him. But I don't like watching Gerald Washington fight.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of his ring exploits, but matchup wise, I can't really hate on this fight. So that's what I'm saying. But it's a main event heavy type of fight because everybody want to know what Thurman gonna do. But the supporting bout where you have a fight where the winner could go on to something better.
Yeah,
and it's two different styles.
Yeah,
C plus.
Yeah, mine is I say B minus C plus in that range, because B minus, and I think B minus is much more for the fact that I do think Thurman versus Jose Lopez is a decent fight, and decent fight where I don't think it'll be one-sided at this point in time. So that's where I say B minus C plus. So so that card is on January 26th on a Saturday at Barclays in Brooklyn, on Fox. The next card is in February 16th on Saturday on Fox in Los Angeles. Leo Santa Cruz defends his, I believe, WBA featherweight title against Miguel Flores. And then the co-man, we have Omar Figueroa Jr. versus John Molina Jr. LB?
Damn, man. Like, it's like a tale of two cities, tale of two cards.
Yeah.
The co-main really should be a main event for its own night.
Word. Yeah, that fight.
If you want to keep it real.
Hey, man, that's what we do, man. That's why this is real talk, man. Shit's real. We talk about it.
I don't know what niggas was thinking when they set that one up, but bombs a fucking way for that one. But Miguel Flores and Leo Santa Cruz. Damn, dude. Ain't really feeling that one, man. Just ain't really feeling that one. That fight's like maybe a D plus.
Yeah, fuck
C minus.
Yeah, that shit is a straight F on some real shit.
Like I can't. It's.
The matchmaker of that fight should go bring his or her ass into detention and just stay there, man. Should be expelled from the school of matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. That fight. When I heard the rumblings of it, I was like, them niggas cannot be serious. And it was like, they really are serious. I saw Flores' 2 fights in a row where he lost. Flores is not anything special, and he has not done anything to get a shot at WBA featherweight title that LSC holds. LSC, I was a fan of LSC in the beginning because I was when he was in the bantamweight division.
Right, he was coming up. He was making a name for himself.
Yeah, and I thought like this nigga can fight. But somewhere along the line, and he's one of the biggest offenders of this. And I will talk about this more on a PBC podcast. My thoughts on it. But LSC, I think, has regressed a lot from his bantamweight days. And a lot of the reason why I think that is his competition has just been absolutely horrid. Outside of the Mares and the Frampton fights.
Word.
And it's one of those. It's one of those things too. Also with LSC, we have Gary Russell, who is the WBC featherweight champion, and pretty much that is the fight that everyone wants to see him in. They want to see.
Exactly. Like I don't know why that one it keeps getting dangled in front of our eyes, and no one's like, look, let's make this a card. Like, if you want to make a all-out action card, the only way Omar Figueroa and John Molina could fucking be a co-main event if it was the co-main event to Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr.
Shit, like I would actually fly my ass out back to.
That's the perfect fucking card.
Yeah, if yeah, in fact, I'm hoping Miguel Flores gets injured or he can't pass a physical or some shit like that. So the niggas say, all right, let's get this shit really back to where we want. Let's give the fans what they really want. Because I will fly out to LA to watch this, see this card. Straight up and down, you know what I'm saying? Like
that would be that's an A+ card. Like hopefully we get one, we get an A+ card tonight. Like, you know, all these, you know, C's and B's, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a parent getting pissed off and shit. Like, what you been doing? Like, what you been fucking around? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and it's just like, I mean, that main event just brings the whole quality of the card down. Because let's put it this way, I would not be surprised if after Omar Figueroa or John Molina Jr., which is, to me, it is an A- B+ fight, depending if both these niggas make their weights, like
right, and you know, train like they supposed to, and you know what I mean. Like
if they're up and running and they're, you know, they are optimal, then yeah, this is, it's an A- fight, B+ fight, and this bombs away. It's the only fight on this slate that I could see a fight of the year on paper, with the potential to actually deliver in the ring. Because that's going to be bombs away until somebody goes to sleep. For sure. And it just sucks, though, that a fight like that is on this card. And it's just like, I mean, it brings the quality down. Like, you know, like, because it's only because of that card I won't give it a failing grade. But it's a C-, and it's a C- just on the strength of Figueroa and Molina Jr. But the C-,
like, damn, that's some fucking strength, though.
Yeah, but if it was someone that's a little bit, I mean, better than Flores of all people, then it could has potential to actually get out from the C. But Flores is LC's opponent, so it's a C- card, you know, and they need to do better, because that's the worst fight on the whole slate I've seen, and that's
like they really kind of like lost a couple steps with that one.
Yeah, they seriously, and that's on Fox, not even on FS1. We have fucking who's Kentucky and Plant is on FS1, but this bullshit is on Fox.
Because look, you can tell that they going for the little star treatment. They want to get their star names. You know, the big name guys, you know, the Charlos, Leo Santa Cruz's, but y'all want to put them on Fox. Yeah, that's cool and all, but y'all underwhelming with that platform, because you could really make way better fights than what y'all doing for these fucking main events on damn Fox, bro. Like, really?
Yeah, for real.
Random mode select.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that card is, you know, C-, and you know, and just like we gotta do better. The next one is a week after, Saturday, February 23rd, on FS1, like at the Armory in Minneapolis. Minneapolis, though, is an underrated city. It's a wonderful city too. I think that's where the Mall of America is. I've been there once, and that shit, you can get lost in that motherfucker too. So yeah, we have Anthony Durrell facing Avni Yildirim, and this fight is for the vacant WBC super middleweight title. That was, I wouldn't say that, you can say vacated, but really the champion in recess, David Benavides, he's in recess because he is suspended for failing his drug test. You know, he was high off the cocaine. So yeah, you know, they're like, sorry, bruh, but you're suspended until March. So the WBC, which loves its Mexican champions, gave him, you know, instead of being fully stripped like I expected, you know, made him champion in recess. So now,
bless their heart.
Bless her. Now, how Yildirim became number 2 for the WBC Super Middleweight rankings, I don't know. In fact, I don't even think he is number 2. But, because Dirrell should be fighting. Anthony Dirrell, I think, is talented as hell. He's a very talented fighter, But I just can't read him. And it's just like,
He has a fighter mentality. Like, he has that dog in him. Like, he has no quit in him. Like, if he's losing, he'll take the fade and he'll keep throwing punches and shit. So I don't know, man. This matchup is like, I gotta say, it's like, man, what, D+, what, C-? Like,
yeah, because I think Dirrell's getting gifted this belt because Yildirim, his only appearance that I've seen is in the World Boxing Super Series tournament from last year for 168, and he got KO'd by struggle boxer Chris Eubank Jr. in 3 rounds because he walked his ass into all types of haymakers. So it's just like, yeah. So it's just like, it's not the most ideal fight in the world.
It's not. I mean, we trying to just sound respectful and happy and like, yeah, niggas is boxing on TV, yeah. But I mean, it's real talk. Remember, it's real talk. It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? You know how it sounds. You know how our voice sound different when it's a good fight we talking about. Like, we fuck.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like,
I mean. But then you know how we sound if it's one of those like, okay, I'll have a regular plain Jane sandwich, minimum mayo, minimum mustard, the lettuce folded nice and neatly, not too crisp. Half tomato, like, come on, man, like, nigga, put some bacon and some fucking mustard, some pepper jack on that motherfucker. I mean, all that shit, nigga, grilled onions, like, hook my shit up. Like, we ain't getting our shit hooked up right now. What's good?
Nah, not at all. And I agree, this is a D fight. And like I said, and the only reason why it's not failing is, at least Anthony Dirrell will be champion again, and hopefully then maybe this will force what I wanted to see originally, an Anthony Dirrell versus Benavidez fight. Yes. That, because super middleweight has fights that can happen, and we, like I said, this fight is just look at, hey, get this belt, and God forbid Anthony Dirrell decides to have a mental fuck up and loses this fight. I'm just gonna be like, well, that's boxing, theater of the unexpected. So yeah, it's a D fight. And like I said, me and LB both expect Dirrell to probably win that shit. And me, he'll probably put him out in 1. No, straight up and down. 1. That'll be the shit ain't going. This shit ain't going 3 minutes. So yeah, the next fight, man, on Fox, Saturday, March 9th, 2019 in Las Vegas. Showtime Sean Porter defending his WBC welterweight title against Yordenis Ugas. LB?
You could get as a main event, you could get that fight a B+.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. Ugas, although his last fight against Barrio Nuevo was not the wave, but Ugas has been steadily improving since his last loss to Amir Imam, which was a clear loss and at fat. And he's done a very good job of trying to rebound from a loss, and he hasn't lost in about 5 years, come this fight. So I have no problem with this. Ugas is a big welterweight. With the type of
he's a top contender. I mean, that he deserves his title shot. So in Porter, a good champion, and he deserved to defend his belt against a worthy challenger. So B+.
Yeah, and then because we had an issue before where the WBC, there was WBC likes to do its 2 mandatories, and there was fear that we would have to. Actually, it looked like it was going to be 3 mandatories because there was the Berto and Berto and Devin, that was a mandatory. And then we also had Jesse Vargas and Delorme for the WBC silver belt, which is basically another mandatory. Then Ugas Barry-Noel was a mandatory. So there was a situation where we didn't know per se what was going to happen, who Porter was gonna face first. But luckily the boxing gods smiled on Porter and on the fans, as Vargas when Delorme went to a draw, and then Berto's fight was so struggle that they were like, nah, this nigga can't. We can't put this nigga in the ring with this motherfucker again to get KO'd. So yeah, we got a competitive welterweight fight, a rarity at that. So yeah, I'm with it, man. Yeah, it's a B+ to me too. B+ and War Porter and War Ugas. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So yeah, the next fight card, which is the week after, Saturday, March 16th, at AT&T Stadium, boo, in Arlington, Texas, on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Earl Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia for assuming will be Spence's IBF welterweight title. LB?
That's an A.
Yeah, I just don't.
I'll explain why, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah,
but I'll explain why it's an A.
This might be the one fight I just don't want to give a grade to. What do I want to call this? What do you call them, motherfucker? I don't want to call it
level. Summer intern report, nigga.
Nigga, this is This will be if I had this will be on a satisfactory, unsatisfactory scale. And this is a U, unsatisfactory, nigga. So and so the reason why I'm gonna call it, because I'm not agreeing this fight because I think it's a mismatch. So I have to base it off something. So I have to base it off the second criteria, which is this a satisfactory or unsatisfactory fight? It's unsatisfactory. I just see a mismatch. I see a big mismatch. Because Mikey is a skilled fighter, but a good big man, or sometimes not even a good man, can beat a good little man. I mean, like the best example of that in modern times is, we watched the great Orlando Salido school Vasyl Lomachenko in a fight that just, that shocked everyone except me, though, because I said that shit happened.
Nigga! The damn historical boxing...
Nigga,
I mean, you could have used... you used that for an example?
Nigga, that was a great example, my nigga. I don't know what you talking about. That's a classic example.
Come on, man.
Nigga, I will. Hey, it's an example, dog. So I'm gonna go with it.
You could have said Roy Jones, James Toney.
Nah, fuck that.
Let me see.
Not cool, but
Michael Spinks, Larry Holmes.
Nah. See, because Lomachenko.
You even say Lomachenko, Linares. You know what I mean? Like.
Nah. I said a good big man, or sometimes even a decent big man, will always be a good little man. And this is the type of vibes I get from this fight. Spence gets hit, but he gets hit from welterweights that can whack, and he walks through them. Mikey does not have that type of... Mikey has already shown that, I think, 140 is his ceiling, because he fought Lipinets and competitive, and he did knock him down. But this is where I saw that Mikey was actually pushing his limits. He reached his ceiling, and I just think it's just too much of a step-up fight for Mikey at this point. And this is why I call it's unsatisfactory, because both these niggas can be facing better opponents in their own division.
Okay, all right. Now that we got the the negative Nancy report out of the way, let's go some real shit, my nigga. All right, the reason why I give it an A, or A-, if you will, okay, for the Pats out there. First of all, you got two top 10 pound for pound fighters going at each other. Okay, yeah, 7 pounds separates them. Okay, yeah, you know, but shit, man, this is boxing. Niggas dare to be great. And third of all, second or third, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, niggas is, you know what I mean, niggas is lit. But you got two of the best offensive boxers in the sport fighting each other. As far as the visual of this fight, entertainment wise, and the name value alone, like these guys are surging, you know what I mean? Like they could really, like this fight's really promoted on point. Like this shit could be, this might could make someone a star or at least, you know, put them on the cusp. This is a good fucking fight. Like, I don't know, you gonna get a good fucking fight with Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. I just think the styles just match up well. Like, yeah, Spence has the physical size advantage. Yeah, Mikey has all the skill and the experience level, and he's fought guys more talented than him before. Whereas Spence, you know what I mean, we only could really go off of, you know what I mean, like 3-4 victories, and they not really comparing to what Mikey's done in the game.
Right.
And I just look at it like, yeah, Mikey could be biting off a little more he can chew, but it is what it is. I mean, he sees something. I know I see something. I definitely give Mikey a good shot. I mean, I look at it like maybe 65-35, you know, Spence favor. Maybe even 60-40, like. But anyways, as far as like they could be fighting better opponents in the division, I feel that way more for Spence, because Spence has other guys out there, but I don't expect him in this era. I don't expect Danny Garcia to fight Spence right now. You know, he just had a grueling fight with Porter, you know, and Danny Garcia, he's that dude. He'll take tough fights, but that nigga seemed like he fight all the tough name guys. So, you know what I'm saying, him and Porter. So I feel like he could really, you know, them niggas could really try to force a fight with Crawford. Fuck all that other shit. And then, you know, and that's what we're just talking about Spence. You know, Porter's fighting a good contender. So it's like, okay, Porter tied up. You know, Thurman is getting back into the mix slowly. You know, he's fighting a decent guy, a French contender. So ain't too, you know, you got some names out there for Spence, but it's not, you know, not really out there like that. But with Mikey Garcia, it's like, okay, he already beat Easter. Linares went to 140, and a Garcia-Linares fight ain't really the wave just yet. You know what I mean? He's beat Broner already. Lippin yet. So, I mean, yeah, you got Lomachenko out there. Word. That fight would be amazing. But the thing is, the same shit that niggas is talking about with Bud and Spence, that what happened with Lomachenko and Garcia. As far as trying to make the fight, when you know in boxing nowadays, you got different fucking leagues. You got Top Rank League, you got PBC League, the Zone, all this shit. I mean, you know, niggas ain't really trying to just cross promote like they should and make the best fucking fights. Message. Right. So I mean, this is, I think, the best name fight that both guys could really get without fucking, you know, bending over backwards, doing some, you know, appeasing to some diva shit or whatever the fuck going on in negotiation rooms. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. If Tank was more active and fighting more and fighting better opponents, I felt like a Tank and Mikey Garcia fight could eventually happen. Yeah. That would be a great fight.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why
Mikey Garcia, he's one of those guys he's one of those Mexican fighters that don't shy away from that urban style of boxing. You know how they try to keep niggas away from them sometimes?
Yeah, man.
So he going right at them with Broner, Easter, like he'll take those fights. And look, Spence, come on. So that's all I got to say, bro. Like, but I respect your unsatisfactory, because you are right to an extent, man. I feel you. It's like a random fight in a way, but the pieces kind of fit a little better.
Yeah, in this case, like, I mean, in terms of legacy, I mean, if Mikey wins this fight, it does wonders for his legacy. I mean, there'll be no question that Mikey will, would be like top, at the minimum, top 4 pound for pound.
You can say he Hall of Fame now, but he would definitely be clinching Hall of Fame status with that win.
Yeah, for sure. For Errol Spence, though, it's not anything. It's he just can't look that. I mean, if he wins, it's expected to win, and that's exactly how I feel. I mean, it's not going to really raise his profile anywhere it needs to be.
If it's a great fight and he doesn't look too bad, like I expect hands to get put on him, but if he doesn't look too bad, meaning like where it's a doubt, where if there's one point in the fight where you're like, I don't know, and you thinking about and you're referring that to Errol Spence, then I think the fight will hurt him, because you're not supposed to just feel that way about that fight. Well, in regards to Errol Spence, like he could be losing, but we shouldn't doubt like him losing the entire fight.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it's just gonna be hard for me to see a silver lining in for a Spence win for him, other than you just hope that next fight you actually face a fucking welterweight in your division. A real welterweight. So,
and not a tune-up welterweight, but like a decent, like a solid dude.
Exactly. And so the next fight after that would be 8 days after. It's on a Sunday on FS1. It'll be Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets. This will be at MGM National Harbor in Maryland. I've never been to this place. I've just driven by it. So it's a nice place on the outside. It's near it's like I said, it's right on the harbor. LB, your thoughts on this card? On this particular card?
It's a B. That's as solid as you can get, man.
Right.
That's a solid ass fucking matchup. 2 action fighters, both come forward, both can box. One guy got more experience, other guy younger in his prime, probably peaking. Neither guy is the biggest puncher, but they can punch. So, you might have some dramatic moments. Somebody might get dropped, somebody might get clipped. Who knows? This boxing theater of the unexpected, but that's a solid fight, and the winner could hopefully fight and be an opponent for an even bigger fight. That's solid matchmaking right there. No complaints.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with your sentiments there. I mean, with Lamont Pearson, I mean, I do think, because Lamont Pearson, he's been around for a minute. Dude will be 35 in 2019. So time is starting to wind down on Havoc. And I'm not saying his other stupid nickname. Havoc was the first one, and I like that nickname. So yeah.
What is his damn other nickname? He got another nickname, I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, he did have another nickname. Havoc was the first one. I thought I thought that shit was hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Lamont, Havoc.
Cyclops' brother.
Yeah, it was some other shit. I forgot it, but PBC was trying to make something happen with the other one. I just can't. I can't remember it. All I know is that it wasn't being called Havoc. It was being called some other shit that I didn't like.
Well, anyways, solid fucking matchup.
Yeah, solid to B matchup. But like I said, Peterson, hopefully, in this fight like this, you hope that his inactivity, because he has been inactive. I mean, well, he fought this year and he did get beat up. Actually, no, it'll be a full year since he fought, because he got beat up.
That's the only thing, man. Like, well, I hope he know what he doing, and he could, make a good go at it. That's all I can really say.
Right, yeah, because Lipinets is young enough, where a mini upset could happen. So, but yeah, I agree. It will be a great fight to watch. The next fight will be almost a month after, on April 13th, 2019, on FS1 at the Armory in Minneapolis. Former IBF super middleweight champion Caleb Golden Truax versus former WBO middleweight champion Peter Quillen. I know there are trying to market this as a crossroads fight. LB?
This fight's like a C+. It's not bad. It's damn sure not really main event worthy. Truax, he kind of, he's a solid dude. He did get that win over DeGale, which was good shit. You love seeing that in boxing. The underdog really go all the way to the top. That Cinderella story. But he looked kind of flat in the rematch, and I don't know if he could get back to that level he was at in the first fight with DeGale, because he would need to be for this one. But I don't know, man. Help me out here, bro.
Man, first of all, I will say that I have a bias. I do not like Peter Quillen. I don't want to see him on my TV, especially after that fucking fight he had the last time he was on Fox.
With Love.
Yeah, Jay Leon Love. It's probably definitely candidate for one of the worst fights I've seen this year.
Yeah.
At least the top 3. It was a god awful fight, and
the momentum on this one. This really shouldn't be a main event. Like Peter Quillen needs to be like Truax. I mean, both guys could have fought like someone else closer to their level, their game, and everything. It's like you're trying to give Quillen a win here, and it's like,
Yeah, I mean, Truax is. I don't think Truax is a good guy. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the DeGale win because, personally, I do think it's more in the fact that I think DeGale slipped badly, in that fight. And even in the rematch, I think what happened is Truax did not come to the ring in shape.
Like in the first fight, he was able to, and I agree with you. DeGale was more diminished in that fight, but Truax was fighting him the right way too.
Yeah, he didn't let DeGale breathe for a second, and he looked spectacular. But in the rematch, he looked like I believe he looked like he drained. Because sometimes you get new champions, they don't know how to. I wouldn't say act like a champion, but how to carry themselves post in the championship phase, during the training. And I think they might.
Some people get better when they become the champion. Other people, they're at their best when they become the champion.
Right.
And Truax, who knows? He's fought tough guys before, so and that's what they doing right here with this fight. But it just Peter Quillen, I don't know that was a real sour ass performance with Love.
Yeah.
And so a C for this fight. C- is like me being nice about it, really. Because it's not the worst fight, but it's just like.
Yeah, this would be to me. It would be like a C- D+ type of fight.
Yeah, real talk. It is worth it. It's a main event. Like, if you told me this was like a co-main, I'd be like, okay, but the main event better be fire though, nigga. Fuck all that.
Yes.
But as a main event, that's one of those I might read about it. I don't know. I ain't gonna stop what I'm doing to go see this shit.
As always, I'll watch it because, it's a Saturday fight on FS1 of all times and all channels. So
I'm surprised they put that on fucking Fox.
Right. I bet Yeah, I bet you anything. Like the boxer was like, no, this nigga Peter Quillen cannot be on no goddamn Fox after what he pulled with Jay Leon Love. That was like, fuck all that.
Yo, my nigga. Somebody was like, hold on. Wait. Somebody got to put their foot down, you know.
Right,
sometimes
exactly.
You gotta keep it fucking real. Like,
Yeah. And I'll be rooting for Truex to win this fight. Because like I said, Truex is a good guy, you know, and I feel that his return loss to DeGale, because basically that fight, he could have retained his title. Because two of the cards I mean,
I hit him hard in that fight, man.
Yeah, like DeGale was even more diminished in that fight, but Truex just was not in the type of shape to actually take advantage of it. And even he came close to retaining his belt on a majority draw. Was just by 1 point. The other card was just an atrocity, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we just hope for the best, you know. Truex, you know, finds his footing and, you know, causes another upset. So the last fight on the slate for April 20th on Fox, Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. LB?
Oh man, this is another fight that I want to say this is a good B fight, like maybe even B plus. But yeah, this and I'll explain, you know, Danny Garcia, like usually when he fights an elite guy, like when he fights an Amir Khan or Keith Thurman or you know, Peterson or whoever the fuck, like, because the Keith Thurman, he'll fight anybody. But the thing is, like, he'll sandwich it in with like guys that you're like, come on, like he'll have those tune-up fights, and that's why niggas be with the whole cherry picking shit, which I don't think is, you know, 100% deserved, but whatever. But I understand why niggas say it. So after he fight Porter, he fighting the guy that Porter, you know, beat. But
exactly,
struggle with this motherfucker though. Adrian Granados, he don't fucking play. Like he come in the ring to put fucking hands on you. Like he dishing out fades. Like, well, word the Broner, word the Porter. So for Danny Garcia to fight Granados right after Porter, like he's fighting another rough boxer, swarmer type of guy.
Right, and then with Danny, and there's a high probability of Granados beating Danny Garcia. High probability.
If all my gambling niggas out there, hey man, you fucks with that shit.
Yeah, because unfortunately,
you might want to put some on Granados pulling out a majority or a split decision.
Right, because Danny in his last fight against Porter, Danny looked absolutely god awful in that fight.
Come on, man! Like, I fucking forgot who I'm talking to.
But you know, I don't fuck with either Porter or Danny. That's the thing. So this is why. You
don't like Garcia even less though. You're like you.
I don't like Porter. I don't.
2 weeks before the fight.
Yeah, but I mean, cause I remember I scored a fight 118-111 for Sean Porter.
Damn, you're like the fight was not.
It wasn't. I've never ain't no that motherfucker just sat there and
why? Like, oh my god, like what the fuck?
But see the thing though, that motherfucker. Porter basically put hands on him, and Danny threw less than 500 punches in that fucking fight. That was all Porter.
Not just the work rate. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I hate these fucking pincher penny fucking boxers who you know, they waiting for fucking change or receipts when they throw punches. This is why I could understand. Well, I don't understand, but I understand why I feel where niggas is coming from with this whole. Danny Garcia looked awful in that fight. He didn't look awful. He didn't look bad. But the thing is, his biggest weakness got exposed in the biggest way.
Right.
And I think that's why, because technically, boxing wise, and how he normally looks, and you know, in certain spots he did shine. He, you know, he had his moments, and to me, he was winning rounds. He had some spots. I thought he had got 4 or 5 rounds. Fuck all that, but he definitely lost. I felt like Porter was the better guy in a sense where he out hustled him, and we all know Danny Garcia
and blended the most serious
fights behind him.
You know what I'm saying? So it was it was that one-sided to me that made me think that
come on.
No, fuck that nigga. No. Yes.
Bro, that fight was way more competitive, closer than that, bro.
Like I'm pretty sure one of the judges had it. What is it? Was it? I'm pretty sure there was a 117-111 score. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I the widest one was 116-112, and yeah, that's
like the best score right there. That's like fucking perfect. Even if like look, if after most benefit of the doubt, if you can give fucking Garcia 5 rounds, honestly. But to me, that's like if you bend over backwards at your most. There's no way, because I know how Garcia was thinking he won the fight. There's some people who felt it was a draw. I feel like you're going way overboard if you think Swift won or it's a draw, because Porter just kind of tamed him with the activity in the boxing too much. Like Garcia never really just broke out.
No, he didn't let his hands go straight up and down.
Yeah, and that's what kills it, and that's why Granados has a chance, because Granados got a good piston-like long jab. Ask Porter, because he was bouncing them shits off Sean Porter's head and making him fucking pretty much do a little Amir Khan in the ring. I mean, he was circling around and getting the back foot boxing on. So, and Granados, you know, he's game. You know, he's strong. So, man, yeah, I'm kind of surprised by this fight. Like,
yeah,
it's a good matchup. Like,
I mean, it could be also, it might be a thing where Danny's team thinking, oh, this nigga Granados, you know, it could be a Herrera situation all over again, thinking that they think that it's.
I mean, if Porter beat this nigga, like, man, get the fuck out of here. Of course we could beat. If Broner beat him with one hand, then yeah, of course we could beat him. Like, I feel you. I feel you. Like, maybe there's a little of that going on. Who knows? But
right.
You can't sleep on Granados.
No, you can't, and that's why I'm thinking. Like I said, there is an upset brewing on that one, for sure. So yeah, that is the full slate of the PBC rollout going into March. 4 months. So LB, overall opinion on the rollout?
And hold on, you know it. We ain't do Pacquiao Broner though.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that fight didn't. I mean, everyone knows it's coming, I guess. But it's not gonna get announced until Monday or something like that.
For the sake of it, I'm gonna have to just put some little thoughts on it, because I think it's really gonna get made. You know, if it don't, hey, whatever the fuck. If something happened last minute and it don't, hey, it is what it is. But we gotta keep it real.
Right.
I give that fight a B+.
Yeah, I mean, I give it I think it's a solid B- fight. And it's B- only.
I'm about to say you cannot tell me that's a C-level fight, nigga.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's a low B fight, and that's just mostly because of Broner. Because I mean, it's kind of hard to get up for a fight like this for Broner when this motherfucker got his ass whooped by Mikey Garcia, someone who's a similarly small fighter, and then also got held to a draw by Jesse Vargas, all people. You know,
yeah, the momentum. The Broner ain't really right for this fight, like
exactly. So I mean, it at one point it was, and I always said though, Pacquiao is already a Hall of Fame legend. Like his ticket to the Hall of Fame is stamped. I mean, there's nothing literally this man needs to do in this sport. He just happens to hold. He just happens to hold the regular version of the WBA welterweight title. Technically, he should be the only champion since he's the only one that actually defends that fucking welterweight belt for the WBA. So, yeah, I mean, it's just what I've always said, though, if you want to get Pacquiao out of the sport, some of these young guns need to actually go ahead and actually try to do it. Broner is in that position now, but he doesn't have the momentum. So basically, it's just like if Broner...
And the inactivity, too.
Yeah. Real inactivity.
See, and I can respect the B-, because when you look at the intangibles, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at both, and I really fuck with your points on this, because the inactivity, the momentum, that's what kind of lowers it for this fight. No lie, that's real shit.
Right. Now
Pacquiao doing it on his end though, but we know this nigga got heart problems. We know he beat the shit out of Matisse and retired him. That was good. So we cool on that end.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, depending on the level of ass whooping, can send Broner into Jobberville or to pretty much end. I mean, Broner is a draw no matter what, but in terms of a serious contender, a bad loss to Manny Pacquiao will probably.
Yeah, he needs Broner. This is like life or death for Broner. Like, and the reason why the Vargas fight looked so bad, because we saw Vargas go life and death with Delorme.
Yeah,
and he looked like shit in that fight. Like, Delorme was hurting him like in the first round. So it's like, come on, and we know Pacquiao thrashed Vargas, and even back then the judges were fucking around, and one of them scored that fight a draw. But we all know Pacquiao washed him. And
it was a straight wash. It was a unanimous decision, but one of them scored the fight like 114-113, which I thought was asinine because it was not that close. Not that close.
That fight was like 117, 110. Maybe 8 rounds to 4 at the most.
Right. Yeah.
You can give Vargas more than the 5 rounds, 4 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. So that was some bullshit. But yeah, if you see this and you're like, Broner, what the fuck? So it's just like, now if Broner wins, if Broner KOs Manny Pacquiao, then
it's huge.
It's huge for him. It's a financial windfall for him. Huge financial windfall. Broner pretty much needs this, and above all,
Broner has to have some type of moment, like where he for this nigga, he needs some social media moments, some highlights, he gotta hold his own. He gotta to me, I feel like he has to give the fight, like action wise and effort wise, he has to get a fight that I know a lot of niggas, a lot of the urban rap community, a lot of people thought Floyd would kind of give a little bit to Pacquiao.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and
if Broner delivers on that, he wins. Even if he loses, he wins. If somebody just throw hands with Pacquiao, fuck it.
Right, exactly. So we hope that Broner just lets his hands go and decides, to fight like a man, and try to, the goal would be to really end the career of Manny Pacquiao.
And just the lead up to all the Broner antics and all the promotion, this shit gonna be crazy. So
stupid.
And if he piss off Pacquiao, we get a little angry Pacquiao. Hey, we might see something special that night.
Yeah, so
Broner has good defense, but Pacquiao ain't really outworking dudes like that right now. But because he's older and shit, he passed it, but he still got enough ignorant style. So like I said, this is solid B, like B, anything in the B range. B-, B+, B. Pay-per-view though, I don't know, man. I don't think this should have been a Fox fight.
Right, it should, but they're putting it on pay-per-view for whatever reason, and I can see that too because, like I said,
Yeah, I can understand it. But I hope they make a good co-main event, like.
Right,
But they brought like a real solid co-main.
Yeah, because we got to make sure. I mean, you gotta sell this pay-per-view. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that need that can get some shine out of this card for real.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
playing with the matchups more. I mean, the fight. Main events like that is where you need to start putting these Omar Figueroas and John Melenas and I mean, like, can we have cards that like are stacked and they're not spaced out? Like every month, if you have a double header, have 2 fucking good fights. Because if you look at it, like we seen a lot of fucking C's on this report card, man.
Yeah,
just looking at it, man. Like real talk, a lot of C's. Like we only had really one A, and the A was on some like okay, and then you had a fucking unsatisfactory. Like
yeah,
it almost canceled.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like this whole slate of these cards, this whole slate of fights of these cards. Like this, pretty much, it's just. I mean, it's really just A sides versus B sides, with the exception of a few cases, and it's not. I mean, it's a start. I'm guessing because you gotta get these motherfuckers active and all. But I'm just hoping that this is just that, and then the second slate of fights that do happen that are scheduled are a little bit more competitive, and a little bit more of the fights that we are looking for from fighters in the same division that are high caliber. So,
thank you, because for every fight that we kind of get on some random shit that ends up being good, like Spence, Mikey Garcia, which is in a way a random select mode fight, but it's one of those where it's like, oh, shit, okay, but that still could be a good fight. Like, hey, I fucks with that 2 big names. Elite skills, pound for pound, offensive, whatever the fuck. But then, you have a fight like where it just be on some random shit that don't do nothing for nobody, and it's like you'll get that as a main event, and then you'll have a co-main that's solid as fuck, and it's like, come on, like, there's no rhyme or reason. Like, overall, I would have to say, like, this first half, this first rollout, I want to give it maybe a B- or a C+.
Yeah.
Because you got some gems in there, but it's like, it's not enough, man. Like
basically it's an appetizer to a full course meal. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is, and it's definitely nothing. I mean, I know for most of the media too. I mean, it's a buzz, but it's not something I'm excited about unless these fights, turn out to be something a little bit more than what we think it should be on paper. And in the course, if that happens, that will be a problem. Then also another problem for PBC. But I'm not excited about any of the about the full cards themselves in general. Like I said, I mean, if it's a start, it's a start. I just hope it doesn't repeat itself in the second slate of fights. And because PBC has to keep their deal, because I'm pretty sure Fox will get rid of them if they are not producing the type of fights. Because I mean, PBC has lost TV deals before, but we will not get into that in this podcast. So,
good little appetizer, like, I mean, that's why I say, you got some gems, C+, maybe B-, but if you could just count all the all the good fights, are the ones you really want to fucking see, it might really be on one hand. Like, if I just quickly, Swift Granados, fucking Broner Pac, Spence Garcia, what's the one, Uzi Plant?
Yeah,
that's 4. Figueroa Molina. Okay, that's 5 fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
What other fight did I miss that we should? Oh, okay. I give you Porter and you guys. That's 6.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got everything, man.
And we was on here for like what 40 minutes talking about like damn a whole bunch of fucking fights.
Yeah. So I mean, you just gotta hope that this is just the way for just to get them active again, and then to get better fights, and hopefully they fight each other in 2019, like starting it in the summer of 2019. So yeah, PBC, good start, decent start. Get your shit together.
Yeah, for real. Like we need something better the second half. Like this a decent start. Like I mean, a little above average. Like y'all trying to do something. Okay, I see you.
Right.
Step it up by the end of the year. Like we need to see something like some. I want to get more B pluses and more A level fights.
Exactly. Because us boxing fans need that. We need that in our lives.
and put more of these. We need more B's and A's on the same card.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this damn saving certain matchups for certain cards and certain main events that should be, whole mains or off TV, and then y'all putting certain fights that the world should see on Fox, y'all putting them on Fox Sports 1. Like, I mean, y'all still got some shit to work on, but I fucks with the effort.
Right, exactly.